Hi there, this is the aaronzero show, the podcast edition where we bring you the news, the views, and try to do our best to bore you to hell. Well, today we have some breaking news. As I came on air, it seems there was a drone strike on Mr. Netanyahu's house in Israel, and unfortunately, the drone was either shot down or it Netanyahu was not at home, so it missed him. So bad luck. Maybe better luck next time. And from the other news, I see that Macron and Biden and Starmer, I believe, have called for immediate end to the Gaza war. And I don't know how that will happen because with one hand they say something and on the other hand they're doing something else. I mean, the USA has supplied so many bloody weapons to this freaking Israel. It would never be able to do this bloody war. And American bombs have really killed many, many Palestinians and now Lebanese people. Anyway, on to our news. And what do you know? The US indicts ex raw agent in Panun assassination plot, charges of murder for hire and laundering. Uh, Apparently, a raw agent, and raw is the Secret Service of India, or I don't know, the CIA or whatever. And some guy there orchestrated a plot to get rid of a Khalistani fellow called Panoon, uh, who's openly threatened Indians there in Canada and USA. He has dual citizenship. And in fact, there is a photo of him with the Khalistani flag behind his desk. Really bad news for India. Definitely, he's a guy who should be got rid of. And so that's where the matter stands. There's no matter of, there's no mention of any extradition request. Well, I doubt the Indian government would entertain any extradition request for a guy who's no longer working there in the agency. Apparently, the gentleman had contacted some fellow in America, and that guy contacted the wrong man who turned out to be an agent of the US government. Anyway, so much for that. And what do they say? It's an 18-page indictment by the US Justice Department, and says he directed the Panoon assassination plot from India and recruited somebody. Anyway, that is the news that is coming out of USA. And the Canadians say they won't tolerate, they put the remaining diplomats on notice, and they don't want to endanger Canadian lives. And after the India's envoy was uh, no longer mm, was no longer a person of or was a person of interest rather in the assassination plot, and they say that they cannot endanger the lives of Canadians, and so the remaining Indian diplomats have been put on notice, so to speak. That's what the Canadians say, and says asked if other Indian diplomats will be expelled. The Canadian Minister Jolly says clearly we won't tolerate any diplomats that are in contravention of the Geneva Convention. And so that's Canada for you. Now, back home here in Delhi, it's pollution time with a lot of pollution in the air, and that comes a lot from the farm fires that are burning in the adjacent states of Haryana and Punjab, etc., but more particularly from Haryana, which is bang next door to Delhi. And so the headline reads, Haryana government won't buy produce of farmers burning stubble, because stubble burning is what causes pollution. And good luck with that. And that is what the latest chief minister says, will be liable for 2-season ban on selling their produce through the portal that produce can be sold at the e-portal that the government uses. And of course, they say that Mr. Yahya Sinawar, mastermind of October 7 attacks, was killed in a surprise firefight in Gaza's Rafah by Israeli soldiers on routine patrol. And I think they just got lucky, if you ask me. Uh, and then the Indian Institutes of Technology, Madras, is going to open a flagship center in Dubai early 2025, focuses on research, innovation, entrepreneurship, uh, envisages to enhance key tech, including AI, robotics, and sustainable energy. And that all the way in Dubai. But what about in India? How about opening it in India? Anyway, I don't know about that. That's what the news says. And what else is there in the news that we can tell you? So, at 12.8%, transport is the primary vehicle of bad air in the capital. And the AQI closes on very poor with a reading of 292, and that is Delhi. And what are you smoking? That's what he says. And there's a place in Delhi called Wazirpur, which has an AQI of 388, and they want to install 80 anti-smog guns at 13 hotspots with dusty focus areas, and I guess they will be spraying those areas with water or controlled bursts of water to cut out the smog. Sprinkling will be done, particularly in these areas, and so much for smog. And they will have extra trains to fight the smog. A minister of the AAP party, which is currently controlling Delhi, has walked out of jail finally after a long time. And he says he was arrested and jailed to stall the work of AAP government and to send a message to common people that they shouldn't enter politics or fight elections. And so, anyway, he's come out after, I guess, a year. Oh, sorry, after 28 months stay in prison for money laundering. Anyway, who knows? What is that? Who knows where the wind blows? And the Chief Justice of India, Mr. Chandrachud, plans to have live streaming of all trials, I guess, of the Supreme Court, and I don't know whether it's of the local court, but that's the idea, and they're going to hold a test run. What do we have here? The editorial says that The killing of Mr. Sinawar will give peace a chance. I don't know how that will happen, but Israeli assassination of Hamas's military chief may make Palestine's Fatah, backed by Arab monarchies, find its voice. Negotiations can gain pace. I don't see how that would happen with the constant Israeli bombing and every day people are being killed. Just now it's Lebanese, and before it was Gazans. So I don't know how that would work out. And we have a short editorial, or rather piece, on the late Ratan Tata, who's been described as shy and soft spoken, but also fiercely honorable. His courteousness sat easily with his positive obstinacy in sticking to principles, uh, who has been Tata's counsel for many years, writes Abhishek Singhvi. And in his heart of hearts, Ratan Tata was a jewel of a guy. And what do we have here? This whole paper is full of news. Uh, they're going to be having the World 10K run, half marathon in Delhi on Sunday, and we have some foreign stars, some foreign runners who are going to be coming here. Uh, One of them is Mukhtar, UK's Elish McCoglin, Ethiopia's Mukhtar Edris, Uganda's Joshua Cheptegei, and Kenya's Cynthia Lomo again, Delhi Half Marathon, which is going to be coming on. And these are the foreign stars. And it says here that a double Olympic gold medalist is VDHM's top draw, but Mukhtar Edris could prove. Joshua Cheptegei is the double Olympic gold medalist. And he made his international debut in India way back in 2014 at World 10K run in Bangalore, where he finished second. And so now 28 years old, and let's see what goes on with that. Rafael Nadal, the famous tennis player, has been defeated by Carlos Alcaraz. I think that's the second time, if I'm not wrong, in Saudi Arabia as his career ends and nears an end. And what do we have? According to Gary Neville, England should have an English coach. Our girls have come a long way, says this lady, Diksha Dagar, who's a golf player. And golf has become very much a game of the ladies here in Delhi, India. And so much for golfing. And let us go on to this entertainment news. It'll be an interesting story, says Bruce Springsteen, on upcoming biopic. A biopic is going to be released on Bruce Springsteen on his 98-2 album Nebraska. And so he's been talking about that, and he says Jeremy Allen White portraying him in the film about the making of Springsteen's 98-2 album. I've seen the scripts. I've talked to the director. It's just putting it together. So I don't have awful lot to say, but I'm excited about it happening. It'll be an interesting story. So that is Bruce Springsteen for you, a guy who has been rocking the clock for quite a long time. And then Selena Gomez says, "Hope no one thinks my life is perfect. It's not." And she feels about her health. I've spent too much time in my bedroom, but I don't even sleep there anymore. So good luck with that. And Oktoberfest is on. There's star power at the fashion in Delhi ramp. So all the stars are here in their gowns. What can we do? If we see a gown, we have a frown because we feel less is more. And on that happy note, we end this show hoping you are all rocking on and doing very well. Catch our podcast whenever you can, or our rocking show